And the bad news is we're back with Sam Walker in Liverpool, maybe in Liverpool, Chester. I don't know. He's in court anyway. And the footage has been released by Jail Tales, the fella from Preston who approaches people when they're getting out of court and puts the camera in their face and I'll ask them why you're in court, why were you in jail, that sort of thing. I've got my own opinion of his channel, but I will get to that in a little while. So, Jail Tales has been promising to release this footage of him and Sam Walker. They've been going back and forth online. It's all got a bit nasty, as it normally does when Sam Walker's involved, threats and stuff like that. But the footage has been released and there's been some backlash since. So what was the footage? Now, let's go right back to the beginning firstly. Who is Jail Tales? Now, most people have heard of him online. He's got a fairly big presence. He's got TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, the lot. You see him on every platform. If you watch that sort of content, he's in the algorithm more. He definitely was so about a year ago. Slightly dipped off a little bit, but he's still in there and he still does big numbers. And I respect anyone that's doing a thing online, who's got earning good dough off it or whatever else. Fair play to him. I'm not knocking him. It's not my cup of tea. I feel the whole bit of going up to people and sticking a camera straight in their face is very invasive. Very, very invasive, and a lot of people get very angry about him doing it. And then he's like very reactive back to him, which we saw in this situation the other day. So someone will be like, get the fucking camera out my face, and then he'll start chiming back at them. No one's going to do nothing to me, yada, yada, yada. And this has happened numerous occasions. Or like security, he's like trying to film outside of prison. Security will come and tell him to move off or whatever, and he'll start arguing with him, being very like shirty with him and that. And you're just like, come on, mate. But no, I have no idea who he is personally. No issue with the fella. He's obviously done a lot of time in jail himself, and he's turned it around and he's making money online. So fair play to him. And if your thing's working, then your thing's working. If you're earning dough, you're earning dough. Even if I don't like it personally, and I think it's a bit invasive or whatever else, which it is really. Like, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. In my opinion, it's quite rude. He's not approaching the people and going, "Oh, you're right, mate, can we have a word? Can I film it?" He's just running up to people as they're getting released from jail and that. Like, with the bag on and the prison tracksuit going, "What was you in prison for?" Just like, mate, wow. Just fucking... But yeah, he's doing his thing. And him and Sam Walker. So apparently, allegedly... Well, no, it's not allegedly. This is the truth. He was raising some money for some homeless people, trying to collect some dough for to feed some homeless, house some homeless, something along those lines. And he messaged Sam and asked for a donation. And Sam bank transferred him £100 a ton. Not loads of dough, but enough to be annoyed if someone had taken it and not spent it on what you thought they had. So Sam's obviously, he's quite a charitable. Listen, as I've said on numerous occasions, I'm not Sam Walker's biggest fan. I'm not. But he's quite a charitable fella. He does donate money to people. Like, he give Billy Moore's got a disabled brother. I don't know if he's got Down syndrome or something, but quite heavily disabled. And he gave him a grand or something like that when Sam Walker was in jail. And he's done loads of charity work in Sierra Leone and this and that. And I have thought at times that the Sierra Leone thing was a bit disingenuous because he was getting something out of it, but he still did it. He was still providing water for people and all that crap. So he is a charitable fella. He donates a lot. And he earns a lot. So fair play to him. And so he's given Jail Tales this ton and then heard nothing back from him. And apparently he's then gone on to say that Jail Tales has spent the money or kept the money. But he didn't. Because he's got the homeless fella there now. And he's filming him and the bloke saying, "Yeah, he gave it to me." Which is quite funny, to be fair. But he's got the receipt. He's got a live, official, real life receipt. An actual homeless man saying that he gave him the dough. So that's that. Then Sam come out and obviously he didn't say much about him, but he did say, like, I think he said he's a tramp or whatever else because he spent the money. But we know that he didn't spend the money, so I'm not claiming that. But yeah. So Jail Tales are saying he's been arguing Preston pooches and arranging fights and whatever else he's been doing on TikTok. And Sam Walker's come back to England and he said, right, I'm going to go and do the Jail Tales thing to Sam Walker when he's in Chester court at the end of last month, I believe it was. Or maybe, I can't remember when it was. When he was in court anyway. He's been in court loads recently. So one of the more recent times he's been in court. And then he's been been saying he's got this footage that proves that Sam don't want it with him and proves that he wasn't lying. And he's been talking the footage up and talking the footage up and talking the footage up. And then it gets released. And really, really and truly, nothing much happens in the footage. So Jail Tales does his thing, runs over, camera out. Sam Walker's looks quite pissed off, obviously in court. Not a very nice time, not having a good day, hood up, whatever. And Jail Tales runs over the camera, and Sam Walker instantly, he's like, to be fair to Sam Walker, because I know everyone says that he's a frag and he can't look after himself or whatever else. He does straight away go on the offensive, get the fucking camera out my face. As I feel like, well, obviously, I felt like most people would do that if they was in court, but apparently they don't. But I don't know whether it's because they recognise Jail Tales or whatever. But anyway, he's got the right ump straight away. He's going to get the fucking camera out my face. They're going back and forth. And he goes, get round the corner. Jail Tales, I think, says, we'll get round the corner, which could be insinuated one or two ways. It could be get round the corner and we'll have a fight, or it could be get out the way of the court so we can have a chat, because at the time, though, it doesn't seem like Jail Tales does actually want to fight him, because he's trying to explain himself. No, let me talk now. I didn't steal the money. Check your messages. And then Sam gets more and more aggressive. He's got his hand, and I hate that. I hate that whole thing of putting your hands down your trousers to say that you've got a weapon on you. It's like an instant threat. Like, and it's just fucking, it's not my cup of tea. Using a weapon full stop is not my cup of tea, but to insinuate that you've got something when you definitely haven't, because you're just about to go to court and you get metal detected and searched when you go in, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Let's have it right. Bad form there, Sam. Anyway, gets a little bit more heated. Sam looks over his shoulder. Police are coming. Hood goes down, water goes down, and then he looks a little bit more aggressive. But I don't know if that was because he saw the police coming. They could have come around another corner. He could have not seen them. He could have just checked if anyone was there and they weren't. So he's gone dun-dun-dun. And he looked like he was game, but he's obviously got invisible head injuries and that. I don't know what Jail Tales is all about. He talks like he's a fighting man, but I don't know, to be honest. He was going to have a boxing match with Preston Pooches, PNE. I would have backed Preston Pooches, to be honest with you, but I don't know, He's obviously untrained, Jail Tales. Doesn't look very fit. He's got quite big arms and stuff. He's done years in jail, but he's an ex-addict and stuff, so I can't imagine he was putting a lot of training and a lot of work in and stuff, but yeah. If he had hit Sam Walker, obviously he's got the fucking damage to his head and he's got like a metal plate in his head and stuff like that. We all know how bad it was, so it wouldn't have gone well, especially outside of court. And then the police come and they break it up, and Sam Walker said the police were there because Jail Tales is a grass. He had the police called, and Jail Tales then is saying that the police were there to protect Sam Walker. And they both released videos since, and Sam Walker's is quite funny. He's like eating fish and chips in a calf, I think. But I don't know why he's doing this. It's fucking made me chuckle. He's like eating the chips with his knife. I don't know why. Some of the things that Sam Walker does really tickle me. I can see why he's popular, because he's quite funny. Like, he doesn't mean to be. When he's trying to, like, putting on stupid voices and trying to be like a gangster and that, it's just cringy. But when he's actually not trying to be funny and he's actually just being himself, like eating his chips with a knife and that, it's fucking hilarious. I don't know why, he just tickles me. And yeah, so he's asking for Jail Tales' address. This is just after the footage has come out. We know that he's had stuff done to people's houses before. He's had windows bricked and that sort of thing. So, it is what it is. He's asking for the address, and we know that he could pay someone to do something. He's obviously got a lot of fucking dough out of social media, I would have thought. He reckons they seized £97,000 out of his account the other week, didn't he? Or the other month or something, proceeds of crime. They were looking for 35k. I'm not sure what that was all about. But so he's demanding, he's not demanding, he's asking for the address. Someone WhatsApp him the address. He knows people that have it. And then Jail Tales has brought out a video response, and he's come out and he's basically talked about what was in the footage. He's given his version of events, that the police were there to protect Sam. And were they? Weren't they? They could have been. He's high profile in terms of, you've got a big social media presence. You're talking about celebrity these days. in terms, you're not looking at how celebrities were 15, 20 years ago, where if you're in the public eye, you're on TV, you're in the news like on the front of the News of the World, on the front of the Sun, this and that. It's not really so cut and dried like that. There's a big crossover of Sam Walker's got a fucking massive following on TikTok, and he's like on all the social media platforms. He's a big name. He's very, very well known, and he has been in like the local papers in Liverpool and stuff like that for being an ex-criminal and doing whatever he's doing and whatever. And the injuries that he sustained lately have actually blown his profile up more because more people are aware of who he is now. So he's a high-profile person to be in court, isn't he? Let's have it right. And he causes a lot of trouble everywhere where he goes, whether he means to, whether he doesn't. He's always talking on social media, and a lot of people don't like him, just the same as a lot of people do like him. And obviously, he's not going to pay to have a fucking security team there, like one of these kick streamers and all that. I can't imagine he'd be that type of fella. But they would have I would have thought, to have an enhanced police presence just kicking about around the court if someone like that was in court, because they know it's going to attract people to go there if it gets leaked or whatever. Or well, it's always in the public eye at the courts, but with the celebrities, they keep it quiet until the day, don't they? I think. I don't know. I might be talking shit, but there's going to be a enhanced police presence there anyway. So were there because J Hotels rung them? I highly fucking doubt it. I highly, highly, highly doubt it. Were they there because they knew that Sam Walker was going to be in court, and just to keep general nuisances away? Maybe. Most probably. Were they there for his protection because he asked for protection? I highly fucking doubt that as well. I think option B is probably more likely, isn't it? And then J Hotels has come out and he's basically clapped back with a bit of a threat of his own to our mate Sam, so Mr. Walker, saying he did apologise. He said, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it like that," whatever else. But he said if anyone goes to his house or touches anything around his house, because I think he's said he's living at his mum's house, he hasn't moved into, he's got a place but he hasn't moved in there, or something along those lines. If anyone goes anywhere near in his family, he will be on the next train down to Chester for a retaliation. And he seems pretty serious. Would he do it? Would he not? I'm siding to think that he probably would. You've got someone that's done that amount of jail time and stuff like that. They're obviously have tendencies to react in situations like that, wouldn't they? Their tendencies to act in a violent manner if provoked. Whether they're capable or whether they're not is another story. But for someone to do something to someone else with a weapon, or to smash someone's windows in a retaliation or whatever, you don't need to be that way inclined, do you? You just need to do it. So that is J Hotels' threat back to Sam, that if anything happens to his property or anyone around him, where he's staying, to his mums, to his kids, whatever, there's going to be trouble. There's going to be issues. And what will Sam do in this? Now, we don't know, but Sam could see this as provocation, to be like, well, I'm going to do it, what you're going to do? Maybe. Or he could sort of ease up on it. But I think that with it being so high profile, with so many eyes being on it and the threats being made online, it's never stopped him before, is it? I was going to say, because it's been made online, maybe he won't do it, but less likely to do it. But he's done it before, and he doesn't really hide the fact that he was the reason why it happened. Do you know what I mean? So maybe we'll have to wait and see. Let me know down below what you think, boys. Who wins if they did have a punch up, Sam Walker or J Hotels? And are the J Hotels windows going to be going through? Thanks for watching, boys. Adios, le bosh.